Equipment also kicks off the second game. Let's see who gets LA victorious. The Franklin, but it's already hurting the Toxic team trying to step on, but does not succeed, and the team of Humble, which already rescues how much at 15-16, 17% to kills and have the central zone. The nerdy truth is that this movie, I have already experienced it, and it was quite favorable to Campbell's set. When they play with Barry in a hot zone, and more specifically, here during Beatles you feel very comfortable. Let's see why Toxic Lotus has so far been able to recover El Centro from the field, and with forcefulness there we are seeing a lucky rotor. If I kept it from breaking the hyperload that becomes effective by the German player who completely refuses to die, but will not have another one left, to end up falling, and Toxic Poison that is giving him medicine from the good. To Hamilton's team, yes my friends, there the TP of Adele Grey is very complicated, will or will not occupy it. Yes, Montes then in the central area, Oyito Gray that has the TP available. The entire Gumball team is treading on the area. They can do nothing 50-40, and O messes with everything. Draco gets hit with everything. They are going to end up deleting it, or Draco. Nothing to do, and the super low that did not arrive, because the last Dolphin was 64 at how much to 50% begins to recover land. Toxilodo Iago's team, and because alarms are turned on for the combo equipment, ties the game and takes the lead. Toxic Ludo and double hypercharge. For them, so note that they can perform a defensive task. Perfectly executed, and we are watching the super from boxing, with this perfectly the central area of the map, to try to dodge all hypercharge enemy bullets, by or perfectly launched. Also in any case, but it seems that Humble wants to endure low care. That ends up falling and the advantage, and that it is favorable to the whole of Humble to try to take this first game here. Let's see the super perfect while we arrived hypercharge of the Gray, which is 96-90, and 700% for them take the first one. 1-0 for the moment is that, as 1-0 for the time being for Hamburg as a whole on a map, in a mode with brawlers that are extremely good at, that have helped them to avoid winning the World Championship. But yes, in a good percentage. Feeling comfortable in that victory of the year 2024 Neymar, so that for the moment, here it is working for you, and we must highlight what is being achieved by Toxic, because only 12% has been left behind. So let's see what happens in the game, and let it start right away. The percentage is favorable to the Camber set. It is true that they lost a member, but that's not going to stop them. Follow, making dots in El Centro del Campo, and notice that it continues. And we're here and Gamble, who feels comfortable, and Toxic Lotus with nerdy moment problems. Only 1%, only 1 to how much? Almost 30% hyperload of who buries perfect Draco. To enter the game not so close, but the advantage is still for Jammer. He recovers Toxic Lotus equipment, with perfect Gray. The Agatis by Bosa and preload by Fran that arrives. Bursts, or Draco is hitting him with all the Gray. That ET has all the movies ready, but it is not enough. There is not so much damage hypercharge. Also low, the Cement Godzilla arrives with everything better. That the party of Real Madness 60, and for 220%, the Toxic Lotus equipment stays with the central zone. Well, let's see now Toxic Lotus, if it is able to reverse this situation, because the percentage advantage still is double that of Hamilton, and we are seeing lucky that it pulls the hyper low. That connects perfectly with LA Super Hamilton's team. That is becoming strong in El Centro del Campo. There we are looking at the Draco, who is staying O of health, but he ends up falling and is going to be reloaded by the Gray. Let's see if the spear for the moment is not the most opportune moment, but neither now nor ever, because this can end. And the victory by Hamilton Europe. That is me. Let's go to the game. Let's go to the championship. Kick this off with all the Toxic Lotus equipment. Who wants to surprise with Anita Frank and Simandi speed for the moment? That he doesn't care about anything, and be to the front and ends up bursting. No Nita ends up falling. On the right side to you. That it is costing him a little bit of work. God, the pass comes with everything. They're going to have to do something incredible to be able to score that goal, which in the end does not end up coming well. Well, here we are seeing Hamilton trying to penetrate through the line. Left finally if Mantech ended up falling good counter push by Toxic Lotus, but there are not enough chiches. There is no energy S in order to make an occasion that is representative of a real occasion. So for the time being, Hamilton's team that connects perfectly line of attack and kept that it may end up falling. And I think that for me, a yes Mantech should have done the push a little further on and break down the walls, because in the end you don't end up in goal and you don't get the advantage of destroying the defenses. Not by Toxic Lotus. Yes, 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 Max. Oyido Lucky Hyper Retro. That LA Super is already releasing in the central zone. The match completely evenly matched. No one can detach from the attack, with every Simonti who will press the ball to where the goal of the pass we go, with all the fun we can see. Who is hitting LA Max? WILL end up deleting it. Yes man, you need the bear, and so was the one with the teddy bear. Will not be able to do anything at all. And the match that follows 0-0 good. Well, right now, I think it's almost a mirror. That Toxic Lotus did not concede a goal with the piece of play, which has just been launched without a tablecloth. But in the end, his colleagues, I believe that they were not perfectly located to be able to make. For I have enough support to enable this to connect. But notice that the attack continues and we are seeing as if Mantech, Franco should end up falling. And there is the attack pressure, which is good now. By the hamburger set, comes the hypercharge for LA on Nido, who comes with the teddy bear to try to defend himself against the problems he was causing. The local team, and for the time being, now 25 seconds left until the end of the game. No attacks, no goals. But be careful, because now Toxic Lotus is closing, and watch out. Because at the moment, Lucky is yes, they still have the full advantage. Have all the ball to wear an elephant in the yard, I know. No, who is completely nervous? But they will end up scoring and scoring goals for part of their strategies by the humble man who has done a brutal job and who has finally, well, they have ended up losing the game. I don't know to what extent to break down all the walls needed, as you just did now. If I maintain it is favorable to the whole of Humble, let's see now the attack pressure for Toxic. Lotus will not be perfectly neutralized by Hamilton's team. In any case, Neartox and Is are getting Hamilton into quite a bit of trouble. I believe that if they focus a little bit, they can take it out. Go ahead, yes, they can get the little ice stop out. You already have all the perfect control despite ulti, not to let Max go out. Neither Anita nor Frank, and absolutely no one. The little game that follows 0-0 tries to play a little Iway, or also in El Centro, better about you. Better the super of you enters. Simon Tex the Elephant comes out with everything from the last one that arrived. The match was not impacted by the match that follows 0-0. The advantage belonged to Humble's team, but they already lose the central zone. I think Humble is playing it wrong. Check what I'm saying, Neymar. I ventured to comment it like this because in the end, Simon Tech's attack plus is making them very lonely. And when he gets something or needs support from his peers, is not getting it. I'm not saying it's Lucky your fault. Maybe it's Simon Tech's fault. Who throws himself full YOLO when maybe it's not necessary? Oh, it's not the best time sulfur monoxide. Let's see the hypercharge. If I'm Monty, that he has to throw the jump to counter the frame. And what it is doing, the Toxic Lotus set is a real barbarity. Let's see if Max ends up defending perfectly box, which remains as the last attacker in the... And I repeat you again, is that Campbell is not knowing how to find the necessary attack cuts, as if to generate a real attacking chance. Yes, no. He's not hitting it yet. So there are no more walls, no more costumes. There is no more speed now. Fran is coming and wants to go for the ball. But you have LA exceeds available. They are not going to let them out, and they burst, and LA Anita ends up falling. Watch out for him now. Perfect, or it wouldn't have to be a goal. Now it should be a goal. Or in the clear. Lucky what a goal scored for them. And they only have 20 seconds to tie the score. Let's see if they make it, and 15 seconds now. Franco. The super bump doesn't hit anyone. What is happening? Hyperload of who of you? No chance, people, and no chance. And the jumble team that will tie the duel 1-1. Because effectively, and in the end Nair, so in the end Hamilton could not connect. and also by L.A. a Neater. A Nair, very good work of the S.A. a Neater. If it is not for her, I think we could be talking about what Zeta would be talking about here. Already closed. Yes, if it weren't for that. For that good bear. Well, things would be different now. For the moment, the jungle team starts again, which is in the perfect central area. The super spike eye with Max returns. Lucky also with the rocket that goes away locked up God. Santo set off alarms good. The super of voices again. Why this is a goal, yes, and a goal for Simon to save. What ran this one to 0 spot? Well, let's see now which one it is. The response from Toxic, because it now goes behind on the scoreboard, unlike the first game, or the second one where they ended up the goal. But the game is now over. Have an unlimited minute to try to reverse this situation, and for the first time they are now behind. So let's see. What happens and what is coming the attack? By the good 10th, how much percentage of the play? And the game that already begins the show, which is perfectly launched. And let's see where each one is located for the time being. The well carriers who are quite determined. And I'm just telling you that Lumi has a brutal advantage over me. Be careful because it may end up falling, because it was too close to the range of S spins. And in any case, Lucky is in charge of collecting the first TWO gems. Let's see if Talk is able to make it account. Veil Talk. Touch to wear. In Jin also, what do you want for the moment? 3 gems in El Campo with a water. Lukey now. Now he says with permission that I take all the gems. Yes, ma'am, it's usually Gallows to Moat. I don't know what that is, and he has 8 8s in his favor. Why, as I mentioned, the composition by the Toxic Lotus team was complicated, since there is no tank in AA, in the role or in what we know in the script of the movie. Diosito Santo in the script of the movie. Jim carries archives in A. Why? And I think the thing, IT doesn't go that way. 10 seconds, 11-0. Humble's team has a very close match point for the whole of Humble. After a game that is closing a good game nerd, but in particular not a good set number 3, yes, L to C to Z. Now here they end up deleting you, or that he was completely aggressive. Return with the Jedi ego and wins. The lucky right line. Also that this princess takes how many gems? 1-1 and 2 in El Centro, nothing. For no one completely tied the stopwatch. The clock that keeps moving forward. And it is said that you are now having a hard time. Who tried Lucky to hit Akira takes out. Raise how many 3 gems. And it is that you with that Lumi. Wins and Lucky that Lucky. Lucky hips. Father, you have. The match continues to be favorable for Jumbo. Yes, spectacular. The work by Lucky noticed that the genie ends up falling. What is recorded? Lucky today is a real barbarity with the S.A. Piper. And look at the right line. If I kept that the earrings may end up falling off, that they are going to make this PvP a little longer. Plus the 7 gens, who are already on the side in favor of Campbell's team. But be careful because now it comes and again the hand that is thrown. When it is not necessary near TWO hands that do not need their mechanics. Yes to a little hands that. You have to keep them at least, you have the pressure sign intent. Who is suffering from real insanity? They have the counter terrible there. And the little game that is about to be tied up. Because it's locked, you're locked, lucky. The super toxic Lotus L18 that arrives did not make an impact. Lot ends up failing, and I think this is the toxic Lotus team. Can be put to such an advantage? Yes, because look at the percentage now. In the butt, sorry, are favorable to the whole of Toxic. But not only that, but also positioning. And we are seeing how the knife collects. The tempt to fall on your view. But be careful because you are lucky with the hypercharge. Ends up dropping the V8 to have to pick up someone. Because if it doesn't, it will end up falling. And now it is a Toxic Lotus that finds the mechanics that the tool finds, or to try to take the game, or to try to fix the set and the match. And for the moment, both nerd sets, that they are giving a little bit of lecture on what it has been like too. Then emoji spins 8. No one, nothing, we can have here some kind of problem. And we would not want the game that already starts near. We go to the third, is to remember that we are in the third set in case Campbell wins it. We would go directly to the next game, which would not be good for Toxic. And for sure, wants to advance a little more, the game ends up falling. If you keep the left line, that is completely lost. And in any case, in El Centro del Campo is a little better located Lucky. Yes, now they continue with very similar lines and very much the same, but now the one who ends up winning the right is you. Okay, hey. Match for 2 DOS Terror, who continues to suffer and to suffer and to suffer. But also on the other side, the things you can't find. Where the Doritos to Annoy has the super god. Only now, yes, it does the best way lucky. Who has 5 and I? Because Talk has 3 hands. You keep it to me, Daddy. My god, is lucky. In the promotion that video, that hit 6-3 the game again the Doritos. The change of lines that is already there or not is perfect. How dodge or V8 and this is 7-4 good. I'm telling you that you on the right line are holding up pretty well. If I kept that on the left at the moment it is, mother of mine. If I kept by the nails of Christ, you can't get in there, dear beautiful one. And good luck. Who is the one who is anxious that Humble does not collapse? Because right now the attack pressure is completely favorable to the Toxic set, which already ties the contest with 7-7 and Turloads in line. Ranked by Engine also has IT without money, so this can be an advantageous situation for some, for one of the TWO sets. But at the moment, I don't know which eye there is for I. Oh, the little hand. I'll ace for begin to use up skills. Deal resources for you to 10-7. No tie as you mentioned 14 seconds. It's ending. Watch out for the Humble team that wants to take it for 9 seconds. And you have to go to look for the restart. We have to go because they will not have enough time.